Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy Gerald. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of November, 2016. That's right, y'all. You're 24 hours ahead of that good old meal. I know some of y'all may have started earlier as of Monday to get your list and check it twice to make sure that the spices and the herbs that are needed that will be nothing but an expression of love is there. But you know what, y'all? I want to throw this out there because you blink twice, the end of the year is near. You take a couple breaths, you'll be taking down the tinsel, and you'll be ushering in 2017. So I wanted to take this time and speak on something that can be a little uncomfortable, but has always been present. Because I know there are those that have been privileged to have access to your life, that have been sitting, waiting, and unfortunately placing energy to disrupt this moment as we know as Thanksgiving. That's right. You would think with the mashed potatoes and the yams, that big butterball and them collard greens, with the macaroni and the cranberries, you wouldn't have room for discourse. But see, that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that all is good, all is well, not knowing, waiting for the opportune moment, they're going to bring the pain. Who am I talking to? You know, there are those that no matter what you've tried to do through actions and by extending yourself, it just does not matter. It's just not good enough. They're going to see you in a certain perception. I'm here to let you know something. Even in the moment when you should come together as one, because we as a society have gotten so conditioned that the only time that we are unified, it has certain underlining concessions. That's right. It seems like the only time people come together is when we're paying respects or just saying goodbye. Only to silently regret words that should have been spoken, time that should have been embraced, and moments that should have been treasured. So, what does that have to do with Thanksgiving, y'all? Well, we're talking about your life. We're talking about your happiness. And we're also talking about you're going to have to be courageous. You're saying, well, how do I and why do I have to show courage, Gerald, when I'm grabbing for the drumstick? Only thing that's going to play out is I'm going to have a full plate and get a case of the itis while the football game is going on. Go Redskins. But the truth of the matter is, I believe that a lot of you, somehow, no matter how many times you have dotted the I's and crossed the T's, turmoil is going to be looming and waiting for the most opportune time to show its true nature. Oh yes. Oh yes. Because there's no peace where discourse, and I believe, unfortunately, some ties are going to be broken Yes, it is. Because some truth, you gotta love truth, y'all. Because yes, you have those who say, well, hey, truth is nothing but a double-edged sword, but really it is nothing. It is nothing that has not taken its rightful place. And depending on where you are, depends on the effect of how it's received. Who am I talking to? So as you saw on the title, these individuals are going to make a point to make their presence known. Yes, you're going to have somebody that you might not have talked to in quite some time, nothing personal. And every time that you try to be respectful, they're going to try to unload on you. Because, see, that is energy. And those who will not take accountability of that energy to acknowledge its presence will do nothing more than try to get you to be consumed by it. Who am I talking to? Yes, it seems like they can't get it right. You have given endless time, money, and effort because you want nothing more than for them to be happy. But they always fall short. We know these people as the victim. Yes, that victim, the sky is always falling. They can't seem to understand why and how they got there. But you know what? The one thing that they won't do is they won't take ownership. That's right, y'all. It's too easy to remain in that denial because underlining there is a loyalty there. And maybe that's the discourse that wants to spawn itself in that element. Because, see, most victims love a great stage. Oh, yes, they are always the one. When you got something to share, they got to bring in the dark cloud. They got to take the moment that should be sacred and put a dimness on it. Don't fall for that, y'all. Because today, well, tomorrow is about being thankful. And here's the one thing about being celebrated that a lot of people don't understand or they just forget. Even in the darkest moments, you're still alive. And in that moment, you still have a choice. So you can either embrace it and give it power, or you can diffuse it and not give it breath. So then we got to migrate a little more. Because while the victim is trying to sway where the focus should be, and that should be togetherness, appreciation, because see, time waits for no one. In the midst of it all, there's the hero. You know the hero. The hero has always got to be the peacekeeper. Always got to have the volume on 10. Always got to put the last stance in it all. But actually, the hero makes it worse. Who am I talking to? It's my way or no way. But if you take a second just to think, shouldn't the hero be you? Because you're the one that's laying the platform out. But take note of the peace that you had before they arrived through that blessed threshold. How soon do we forget? But here's one thing that really baffles a lot of people. Because it doesn't matter if you've got a no, let's not even put the dollar value in it. There's no amount of money that can represent time of expression. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. From the time of peeling the potatoes and prepping I'm not even going to go there because that's sacrilegious too. I can't believe they then turned around and took a gospel song, Hold My Mule. If they was very smart and listened to the song to its entirety, they would have never put that out. But you know what? We're living in a world where, unfortunately, there's no accountability. I'm going to do what I got to do. And unfortunately, well, when it blows up in your face, you're wondering how you got there. Energy out is energy return. But to get back to what I was saying, you can't put a price on just time, effort. You can't put that because that right there should show love. That right there should automatically let you know that there is a spiritual presence amongst it all. Because see, guess what? You were placed there for a reason. And for that reason, I believe there was things that you were not privy to. And these individuals that will appear, and you'll be able to see them and know you're that person he's talking about. You're that person he's talking about. Or unfortunately, you may be this person. Yes, we know this person is the manipulator. The manipulator. Yes, the manipulator is the one that sets the tone, how it goes down, and underlining is the authority of how it is displayed. Even though they don't put not one red cent, not 1 ounce of effort, but a whole lot of criticism. They're also the person that has been looming in the back. You can't set your watch to these people because they don't want to be exposed. They've been waiting a whole year just to take that beautiful smile that you own to bring pain. Yes, because you got to understand the devil's work is not done, and the devil doesn't care what's on your plate. Why? Because he comes to feast on you. So what's going to happen? Little things that shouldn't be invested in conversations that were pretty much non-existent, they tend to bubble up. How is it that the stuffing and between the stuffing and cutting up the celery, you in a full-blown argument? See, as we have evolved, we've learned don't break out the bubbly till after you eat. Because if you break out the bubbly too soon, there might be a bar fight in your place. But see, guess what? While you were out there shopping, looking for your deals, trying to figure out how the setting is, except just being yourself and showing through your effort, you want to turn around and pass off the facade that everything's okay. That's not the case. Because while you were focusing on the day, they were focusing on the past. And every little thing that fell short, they made sure that everybody knew. They knew that that was the question that should have been asked, or the incident that should have been addressed, only to bring it to your doorstep. So why am I bringing this up right now? You got a decision to make. And it's going to require truth. And depending if you have the courage, not only is it going to dictate how the outcome of your evening is going to play out, but also the environment of your family. So you got to make a decision. Is it really worth the drama? Because you do understand there are plenty of people right now that are saying, you know what? If I wasn't related to you, if I wasn't married to you, if you wasn't related to him, if you wasn't connected to her, I would run from the hills. So It's not by chance. You've got all these things swirling in your head, from the outfit you chose to lay out to the money that you're going to spend just for the moment. The question I need to ask you is this: is it worth your happiness? Because there are going to be plenty of people that are going to put on masks and take masks off. There are going to be plenty of people that, unfortunately, you're going to have to make a conscious decision that your value of your happiness demands to be acknowledged. And you know what the best way of doing that is? Of course, you got to stay prayed up. Oh, yeah. Some people, you can only spend 5 minutes around them because they're just a ticking time bomb. So you have to make a decision. Are you going to cater to your fear? Or are you going to stand in your conviction and speak your truth? Either way, whatever the decision, there is going to be a pivotal moment from it. I think somebody needs to hear that, because you've already made a decision. Gerald, I can't live this life. Some of y'all have actually dreaded for this moment that's about to occur in 24 hours, because you know that there was conversations not finished. And just by line of sight or eye contact, oh, the bell is about to be sounded. You're going to pick up right where you were. You know why? Because there was a spiritual influence going on. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter how good them potatoes is. It's not going to mask all that BS that's going to come. So it's easy for me to say, pick your battles. But what I will say is speak your truth. And guess what happens? You're going to see not only who has your best interest, but you're going to also see who's been plotting for your downfall this entire time. So you got a choice. You can keep the status quo, and if it works for you, or you can do something better and protect your happiness and do something different. Because I know some of y'all are going to be like this. I ain't heard from you since God knows when. Now you're all in my Kool-Aid now. And I know that's going to make you feel a certain way. Truth is truth. That's why you're going to also hear this. There's going to be a whole lot of things you wasn't privy to. A whole lot of conversations that were said. And a whole lot of secrets are going to seem like they got legs and they're going to be walking around you, only to place you center stage for justification. Listen, if you don't see it now, you're going to see it. It doesn't benefit you to run. And I know I use that terminology all the time. But think about it. Is it worth ransoming your smile? Is it worth another day to put on a fake mask of who and what you feel? I think not. Your happiness can't be bought. It can only be invested. Who am I talking to? So tomorrow, when you sit down and you give thanks, number one, give thanks that you're alive. Because if you wasn't alive, guess what? You wouldn't matter. Maybe that's the reason why you've seen so much covert behavior. Maybe that's the reason why you can't set your watch. Maybe that's the reason there's been so much passive aggressive behavior. And you actually think you're the one that's crazy? The only thing crazy is you choose not to love you. Now, meanwhile, there are going to be some people, they're going to fake the funk. They're going to take themselves to places where they're not wanted, and they're going to put themselves in positions that are not going to be in their best interest. And if by chance you happen to be one of those people that happen to go for the ride, I say this: ground your feet, take note to what is being shown. Now, what you decide to do with that information after it's been revealed, guess what? That's the spiritual door you're going to go through. And those are going to be the examples that are going to be required to be mastered. Because we already know this. You can't buy friendship. You can't buy time. But one thing that you can do is love. I know there's some people right now, you're saying, Gerald, I hear what you keep saying. You keep telling me, love myself, ground your feet. You keep saying that. But guess what? Those who understand what I'm saying, they're seeing the effect. And if you, for some reason, believe, let me just put this out real quick. Okay, let me bring this closer to you. Let me tell you something. Whoever, whatever convinced you that you are not worth being loved are the same people that are giving the example of what love is not. If you want love so bad, you'll stop looking for it and go within. If you want your environment to be blessed, you got to do the work. And oh yes, let me tell you something too. Because unfortunately, there are going to be some people that are going to unfortunately see this. As I mentioned, the manipulator, the hero or courage, and the victim. See, those three people, until they make a decision to get it together, y'all don't have nothing to talk about. Because the only thing that they bring to the table is pain. And they don't have the courage to admit it to themselves. So I said this a long time ago to the guys. While you focusing on her, just look at her mother. Look at the person that's most influential in her life. And that is a snapshot of who she's going to possibly become. Because everything is spiritual, y'all. If your spirit is not right, your life is not right. Doesn't matter how buttered that corn on the cob is. Doesn't matter how sweet that tea may be. You're never going to feel whole or full. Doesn't matter. And oh yeah, let me tell you something too. The one thing you're going to see a whole lot of people that will not contribute to the affair, but they got their Rubbermaid. They got their Tupperware. Why? Because it also matches how they see you. They're not bringing anything to better you. They're only there to take away. You know why they want to do that? Because they know as long as you keep distracted on the things that you should, they got control on how your outcome. Who am I talking to? They already know. They know. So when you gonna break that cycle? That's what shackle breaking is. Because them shackles are made of fear. You know, fear. Finally, everything's a reality. And the reality is you deserve to be happy. So I hope wherever you are, if you're in a festive area and there's a bunch of people there, take note. Or if you're by yourself, reflect. And just know this, the best is yet to be revealed. But what is required is you stand in your truth. Place God first in everything you do. But behold what he shows you. You're stronger than you know. And you deserve to be appreciated. Why? Because you're priceless. So from me to you, I hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving. Because guess what? The greatest Thanksgiving is you exist. Now, it's time to you get out of your own way and let God show you what he has for you the whole time. Don't worry. Don't worry. There are going to be plenty of people going to be knocking at your door trying to sway you from the path that you're on. Because a lot of them think you can't do it. A lot of them think that you're going to come back to who you once were that was broken. And they only trying to do that so they can inflict more pain. Haven't you noticed any time that you're in your truth, you're doing what's best, they're nowhere around? Why? Because they're intimidated. And as well as they're blown away that you're able to master the things they have never done. I think they needed to go out to someone. So why are you going over there for advice when you should look at the actions that have been apparent the whole time? So, you ready to really give thanks? How about you start by being comfortable, by finally saying you love you. Some of y'all can't even do that. You do understand everything you're seeing starts here, right? It starts inside. And oh yeah, let me tell you this too before I go, because I am cooking. Oh yeah, Joe, I got a 22-pound. Greens was already done yesterday. I had to get some more sweet. I can cook. What are you talking? I can cook. Anyway, you're not crazy. Everything that is being revealed had to come out the way it is. Don't fall for these emotional triggers, because you're going to see a lot of that too. You're going to have a lot of these, this is my way or no way. Just say no way. That doesn't make you selfish. That means you love yourself. Why? Because you're priceless. But see, they don't want you to see that. So while they're in your ear, what are they bringing to the table? Is it love? Because if it's not love, why are they there? God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. So who's coming to your dinner table? Just make sure that they represent and see the worth that you are the whole time. Have a great Thanksgiving, y'all. Be blessed.